Oh, okay. So obviously, Feixiao coming out is huge for the current meta and just everything in between, given how giga strong she is, even for a generic free to play brand new player. This is going to heavily impact team compositions. So if we jump over right here to the Pride Win homepage for Honkai Star Rail, we have the current event timeline. Obviously, we're going to be getting a new pure fiction right here on in 12 days and 5 hours, and it's not going to let me view right here. So you can see that the brand new memory turbulence is when allies break enemies weak toughness. Charge whimsicality. When charged to 6 points, deal set damage to random enemies 10 times. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. No big deal. A new Memory of Chaos will be coming out in 26 days. And again, it's just weakness break, all that stuff. Currently, we have a new Apocalyptic Shadow. When an enemy unit with Steadfast Safeguard is weakness broken, advance all party characters' actions and recover skill points, follow up attack damage taken by all enemy units increases by 25%, ultimate damage taken increased by 15%. So we need to look at the past couple patches for each game mode. Obviously, Pure Fiction right here. This was last updated on the 5th of last month. So we're not going to be seeing Feixiao stats in here. Next time they upload it, obviously it's going to be powerful. However, we can see a little bit of a trend here. We can see follow up and follow up. Now, this is big, obviously. Now, granted, these are two follow up AoE units. However, because of the fact they are follow up attack units, they would fit beautifully with Feixiao. And then we also see Robin right here being ideal and key to any, honestly, pure fiction team. Because of the fact that you want AoE follow up attacks mainly to do extracurricular damage, she's needed on the team. And then we can also be, I mean, Himiko has definitely fallen off, but that's another option. You have her, and then you have Herta, who's another great option for anybody who's, lacking on ice type units, as we can see right here. Now, for Apocalyptic Shadow, obviously it is single target, focused. And we can see here that Firefly is key. So, in the pure fiction, we have the main follow up damage dealing team um, is key with Jade and Yunlin or Yunli, and then having Robin right here to support either of them for maximum damage output capabilities. And then obviously with Apocalyptic Shadow being single target and last updated on 10th last month, just being key because you get break damage and you just do stupid Unga Bunga damage. And we can also see Boot Hill pretty high up here with Ruan May. I mean, you can basically just see right here, it was mainly break damage focused. And then we jump just slightly down. We see follow up attack dealing monsters right here with a core team essentially right here. So that's good as well. Now, jumping over to MOC, we can see that this was last updated a week ago. So this is very current, up to date. And like I mentioned before, Apocalyptic Shadow has been like recycled or, redone essentially. So once we get this information, we'll be able to see, the main teams for this current season of Apocalyptic Shadow. But I mean, obviously, is going to be centrally focused around follow up attack units because of Feixiao. And then Memory of Chaos is going to get updated in days. So that information will be given. But again, you can see here, follow up attack right here. Boom, 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 and then Aventurine. So if you're seeing a trend, I'm not surprised because follow up attack is going to be head and shoulders, I think, the most consistently used team just in general. So we've looked at all that. So let's go ahead and jump at what I think are going to be the most popular teams. Obviously, we're going to have super break team with Firefly or Boot Hill being your main DS damage dealing units. Obviously, having like Gallagher and then having May as well with Imaginary Trailblazer, just as your super break team. That is like bread and butter. That is obviously another main option would be Acheron team, just massive stupid damage from a single unit with her, Black Swan, maybe Aventurine, maybe Ruame and Kafka, or some other Nihility units. You get the full Acheron boost going, and then just go from there, go to town. Then you have the just follow up attack team, just constant damage, just cycling through with, units such as Aventurine, with Feixiao, with Jade, with Yun Li, maybe with Topaz, with Dr. Ratio, which is right here. Those are the three big teams, in my opinion. Like those three are head and shoulders above everything else, and I don't think it's close. After that, you probably be looking at like a hyper carry team with units such as maybe Argentine, maybe Imbiber Lune, maybe Jing Liu, maybe Zila. That's it. You're really looking at a 3 horse race in terms of which the most popular team, like I said, being Acheron, being, let's say, Firefly to represent the break team, and then Feixiao representing the follow up attack team. These are the three teams that you want to build for every piece of content, because obviously with the pure fiction you want AoE damage. So you could be running like an Acheron team, or you could be running a follow-up attack team with like Ruame or Jade, depending on the type weakness, or even Feixiao for like the huge damage dealing numbers. And then, Apocalyptic Shadow being single target, boom, you got Super Break, and boom, you got follow-up attack. Memory Chaos, it could be, either or, honestly. You can run any of these three teams with slight variations, but these are definitely the three main monster teams in the game currently, which is a nice change of pace. Because I mean, initially it was like Acheron, which is the pseudo quote unquote hyper carry team. Then we got the Super Break team, which is honestly interchangeable with Firefly and Boot Hill. Um, Not necessarily hyper carry, because Harmony Trailblazer can still do quite a bit of damage, and then the follow up attack team is quite literally just like everybody on the team should be doing work and helping carry the team. So we're in a good spot right now with team compositions and where the game is